Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style nerd, strong style cinephile, Batwoman still with the narration. Why? Let us geek about the latest episode for a scant few minutes. Now there's a hitman in Gotham, so awesomely named The Rifle, taking out folks connected to Catherine's company. His latest outing is stopped by Batwoman. Batwoman also runs into Sophie, who knows that Kate is under the cowl, who also tells her that she needs to tell her father the truth. Then we cut to Kate angrily, or Ruby Rose, the stunt woman, going through a workout routine. And again, it goes back to one of my biggest issues with this show and the blatant stunt person hiding, like, just wow. But I digress. Meanwhile, Sophie lies to her hubby about knowing Batwoman. Mary and Catherine head to a divorce proceeding where Catherine gets a call about her anti-bat weapon being stolen. Luke tracks down the Rifle's latest target, which is actually the guy he missed in the beginning of the episode, and Kate is about to catch him when a British woman that we saw before arrives and fights with Batwoman, letting the assassin escape. The two quickly figure out each other's identities, with the woman being Julie Pennyworth, Alfred's daughter. The two reconnect and we learn they rolled around in the sack a few times a few years back. Following Kate's expulsion from the military academy, things went sour when Kate found out Julia lied about who she was. Then we get a flashback about Kate and Sophie pledging to stick together at the military academy, but we know things went sour and Sophie changed her mind. What we didn't know is that Kate's father had a hand in Sophie's actions. Sophie got to stay in the closet, have her career, get married while screwing things up with Kate. She comes clean, mostly with Hubs, and vows that she is beyond Kate. Hubs is not totally convinced. Meantime, Catherine tells Jacob about the gun being missing. Sophie also arrives, drops a dime on Kate for being Batwoman. Sophie and the Crows then get a beat on the stolen gun and move out. Sophie finds Batwoman first and confesses her present feelings, but finds out it's actually Julia in the suit. Well, she doesn't know it's Julia. We know it's Julia. Julia is then shot by the Batman killing gun, taken into custody by the Crows folks, but is rescued by Kate, demonstrating her super awesome marksman skills, which comes up in the episode. Julia apologizes to Kate for lying to her back in the day and advises Kate to trust Sophie, and then she leaves, getting word that the Rifle is back overseas. We also find out that Jacob has been really Mouse in disguise for an undisclosed amount of time, and that Alice and Mouse have some kind of evil tea party planned for the city. And we saw Alice with a vial of something. I'm wondering if it's going to be some sort of like virus, poison, that sort of thing. We've kind of been there before with CW shows, but hey, we'll see how it goes, how it all plays out. Again, going back to the beginning and just the idea of just the terrible stunt work, or the stunt person hiding in this show with the training little dealie in the beginning of the episode when Kate was fighting the Crows guys with the helmet on. Of course, that's a stunt person. And I'm wondering kind of I'm looking now for which stunt is the one that, nearly paralyzed Ruby Rose, which got her to scale back on the stunt stuff going, the stunt work that she was doing. And I'm really hoping that we can do better about action scenes when they're involving actors on the show, and we can get more convincing looking scenes where it's just not strobe light going on, it's not smoke going on, it's not dark, it's not big motorcycle helmets and stuff on that show us that it's clearly not the actor, where it's just not even their movements or just the camera angles that they're looking at. It's not fluid. It's just something about it. And again, it goes back to Power Rangers back in the day, where they would have stunt people and they would do a cool move and they would end like that or something, covering their face, so you wouldn't see that it's the stunt person in just a terrible wig. It's 2019. How are we not beyond that? But as far as my issues with the episode, I give it a strong 6.5 out of 10. I mean, these episodes aren't exactly blowing me away. There's little stuff that I like about them here and there. I like Alice as a character. I'm kind of curious as to what her long game is, what her plan for her evil tea party is. I imagine that her feelings for her sister will come into between her and Mouse, which will cause conflicts, which will make their evil plan unravel in the end, in the season finale, because we see that the Batman killing gun didn't kill Julia when she was in the suit. It just knocked her through a building, because, as we saw, Alice removed some piece from it that took away the killing power of it, because she still cares for her sister. Jacob being impersonated by Mouse, again, it was an undisclosed amount of time. You have to go back and watch the episode, see if it's clearer that he was not, in fact, there for however many days. Remains to be seen how it goes with Kate and Sophie throughout the rest of the season. We know there's going to be a will they, won't they, love triangle crap. It's a CW, of course. We saw that she recovered the marksmanship medal that Kate had was just, I guess just going to get trashed when she was expelled, and then gave it to her in a gift as Kate was moving into her new digs that she secured for Gotham Pride Realty. She's going to turn her first place into a gay bar that sits across the street from the restaurant of the dude that had a problem with her and Sophie being there in the context of being a couple. I saw on a few message boards that people were kind of surprised and thought that it was overblown that two women holding hands was such a big deal or whatever. And it's like you can see on the news, you can see it on social media how it's not exactly exaggerated. It can take just something as simple as hand holding, peck on the cheek or whatever between LGBT people to get them run out of places. People are still racist and bigoted. It happens, so it's not a surprise. So I have no issue seeing it depicted here in the show because that's what happens. It's just the way of the world, but that's not a soapbox I'm going to be on much. But going forward, like I said, it'll just be interesting to see how they react with each other, because clearly they're not over each other. And while Sophie says, "Oh, I'm fine with Kate," and her husband says, "Oh, okay, that's fine," you see the little hug. Of course, they do those little hugs where they just zoom in tight on that person over the shoulder, and then you'll see the uncertainty in their eyes. We saw it with both Sophie and her husband, so we know something's going to happen down the line. Sucks for him because he's just an innocent bystander in all this, but it is what it is. It wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't an episode that knocked me out of the park. I'm curious about where some long-term plots go as far as Catherine and Jacob and her deceit and how that reconciles itself. Jacob, whenever he finds out that Kate is Batwoman, we know that's going to happen. It's just a matter of when she finds out and gets pulled into the team, we know that's going to happen. And then when we will finally get to the will they part of this will they, won't they with Kate and Sophie, because we know that's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, because it's the formula. It is what it is. Like I said, Ruby Rose continues to be good enough in the material that she's given. Alice is good. The other actors are just they're just not as good as, they're okay. They're just nobody's knocking it out of the park on this show. That's in my opinion. But will that change? Again, it's the first season. We're still in the first batch of episodes. Once they even further kind of hit their stride and kind of feel comfortable in their own skin as far as what they want to do for this show, I think things will get better. Just remains to be seen how long it takes us to get to that point. We'll see. Anyway, scattered as can be, those are some of my thoughts on it. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here about all manner of geeky things. There'll be geeky things on this channel. There'll be wrestling things on this channel. My stop motion, I'm not going to get into this whole Copa thing. You can see tons and tons of videos on that. But a few of my stop motion videos were flagged for kids or whatever. So what I'm going to do is just take them from the YouTube channel and then put them onto Dailymotion, as well as a Patreon page. I think I'm not going to charge. I have to see whether or not you can just put stuff up there for free for people, because I don't want to charge at this point for what I'm doing as far as this kind of stuff, because I don't think it's enough, and it's in the vein that I think I should be charging people. Maybe I'll get to that point, kind of refine it and make it better and get to that point. But at this point now, it's just a matter of me just wanting lots and lots of people to see my Us Geeks, my wrestling, and my stop motions. So my stop motions will shift to Patreon and to Dailymotion going forth. So I'm gonna gut the channel of the Flashpoint series and the Trench War that I did with the Ranger figures, and then put it all just on Dailymotion, and then just be done with it. I don't think videos like this will get flagged because I'm talking about TV shows and stuff. But again, it's the whole what's perceived to be attractive or appealing to a child, or for specifically a child, which my videos aren't. But I'm talking about superheroes, and kids like superheroes. So It's a whole mess, but we won't get into it now. Anyway, let us geek.